Welcome to Microsoft Power Automate training videos. In this video, we'll discuss how to handle the exceptions in the Power Automate, and also we'll discuss what is the use of scopes in the Power Automate. So for that, I'm going back to this make.powerapp.com. Here in the previous video, we were discussed about the moving documents and copying documents, and I have this existing flow. I'll try to put this in edit mode. So here we are trying to move a document from the source library to destination library in this modern site. So what I'll do is I will try to open this site. So for that, I'm trying to open SharePoint. So we have this modern site. We'll see all the sites here. This one we are using. In this, I'll go to site contents. So here we have source library, and we have another library called destination library, which is here. So now here in this destination library and source library, we have the same columns, name, and we have a document is related to this two. Name is a default, but we have one field here which is externally added. Now I'll go back to the destination library. In the destination library, so we have this column and we have extra columns as well. So this point of time, I'll add one more column in the source library. I'll put some single line of text which is for test, and just click save. Now we have this test column here, and which is not available in the destination library. So now we have this two for selected item and move file option. So when I try to select this, and we have Power Automate, and in this we have move documents, uh, manual flow which we added, and when I click run flow, and then it will start running on this. We'll wait for a while and we'll go back to the history of this flow, and I'll click OK. Now I have this move documents. When I click, and when I try to check this history, and this flow is failed. So we know the reason, because we have a test column, so which is available in the source library and which is not available in the destination library. Now you can able to see the statement here in this flow: missing or mismatched field definition on the destination list for the source field called test type text, and source type site template id so and so, and targets template id also same, but so there is some error definition. Total blocked root objects in this operation is 1, and the client request id, the query is showing, and the server request id which is showing. But we understand that we don't have the test column which is not available in the destination library, so that's why we got an error. Now for example, after this action, I'll put some more actions here, like I want to create some variable here. I'll try to search for variables, and we have initialize variable. Now I'm just giving a name. Here is something like time now. I'll take this one as a string, and here I'll take an expression called UTC now, and then click OK. Done. So we are done with this one, and after this I'll add one more step here, and I'll make something called send email. We have this send email v2, and now uh, I'm trying to give the, or I'm trying to send this email to support user. I'll select this one, and then subject is document successfully moved to destination. We'll take something called hi document mode successfully. So I'll save this one. We are done with this one. Again, when I try to run this one again, we'll refresh this one and then we'll try to run this Power Automate flow. If you go to automate and you can able to see this more documents, and then okay, we just added Office 365 Outlook connector there, so that's why it is taking the connection information also here. So we'll go back to this, and now again we'll check this history of this flow. When we click this one and this is failed, that we know, and the default behavior of the Power Automate is, now you can able to see this action is successfully completed now here in this flow, and we got an error here in this move document. It is running in the sequential fashion. If any of this action fails in the Power Automate flow, and the remaining actions will not run. Now you can able to see this symbol here, and this action is not run. Now you can able to see the action condition failed. The execution of the template action initializing variable is skipped. The run after condition for this action move file is not satisfied, and expected status values succeeded, and then action rule failed. So which means if this successful only this will run, if this fails and the remaining actions will skip. So to overcome this one, for example, I want to handle this exception, and based on this exception you want to do something, you can able to do that, we'll discuss. But if it is failed also, I want to run the next action, you can able to run. So for that we have an option. If you click this one, you can able to see this configure run after option. If you click this one, now you can able to see the checkbox here. We have total 4 checkboxes. If move file is succeeded, then only this will run. If it is failed, it will not run. If it is skipped, it will not run. If it has timed out, it will run. For example, if it is failed, you want to run, or if it is successful, you don't want to run, you can skip this one. If it is failed, you want to run this, you can able to select this. So which means if it has failed, then the next step will run, and then next step will run. So this way we'll test once again. Now I have taken this one. Now you can able to see this red mark. Actually, when you are editing this one, you can able to see this gray line below, but if you put this one, and you can able to see this red dots, because if it is failed, then only it will run, and if it is skipped, you want to run, and this will also run if it is skipped. And also if you want to run this one, if it has timed out, or you want to select all, you can able to select all. If you select all also, it will take which means if it is successful, it will run. If it is failed, it will run. If it is skipped, it will run. If it is timed out also, it will run. So I'll go back and I'll select this is successful, or if it is failed. I'm skipping this too. Now click done. Now you can save this one. Now you can able to test once again. Now I'll take this automatically with the recent triggers, so which is failed recently. I'll take this one. This will run again. Now you can able to see, now this is successfully run and this is failed, and if it is failed also, now it is running. Now here you have this information. If you click this information, view when initialized variable will run, configure run after. So which means now it is failed, still it has run, it has taken the current time, and it is also sent an email to this user. Now the email is also successful. At this point of time, what I want to do is, now I want to work with the parallel branches. So for that, what I'll do is I'll select this one. I don't want this variable one. I'll remove this. Click OK. I'll take this one. I'll use this parallel branch, and before running the parallel branch, I'll go this one, configure run after. Now if it is successful, you want to run that. Now you can able to see if it is successful, you want to run this or if it is failed you want to run this. Before that, I'll add a parallel branch here, and this parallel branch I'll take send an email. So before taking that, I'll copy this one first, copy to clipboard. Now here from the clipboard I'll add one more email stuff here. Now this one, what I'll do is I'll go to configure run after. Now I'll take this if it has failed, done. So here I'll take document fail to move to destination. That's it. Fail to move. That's it. Now when you save this one, now you can able to see this flow. Now here we have a parallel branch here. If the movement is successful, then it will send this email. If this file movement is failed, and it will send this email. So you can use this one with a parallel branch. Then we'll test this one. Click test. Now we have the document here itself. It's not going to move. Now we'll wait for a while. Now you can able to see which is failed. Now we have an error message here, but still after this one it has sent an email to this user. You can able to see now this action is successful because, and this action runs if this action fails. So this way you can able to add the parallel branches also. Now this way you can able to handle the exceptions in a single action. Now here in this single action fails, now you can able to you can able to put a parallel branch if it is successful, and this email will send, and if it is failed, and this email will send. So this way you can able to handle the exceptions on the single action. For example, I have a couple of actions. I'll take some variables here. I'll add an action here. I'll initialize a variable, or I'll write a variable here. I'm initializing the variable. Now I'll give something called test var. I'll take this one as an integer. Now, and before this one, and before this action, I'll add action, and then I'll take a get file properties. I want to get a file properties here, and then site address, I'll take this site address, and the library, which would be the source library, and this is not required, and these are all not required. I want to get a file property, not a files property. So which is a mistake. I have taken get file properties actually, and I have taken get files. So which is get files, and we have here get file property. So it would be a single file property, and I'll take this modern site for demo, and then library is a source library. Now ID, I'll take a ID from the selected item. Now it will get all the properties of it. Now we are done. And the initialize variable, now I'm taking this as an integer. Now here in this value, when I click this one, and there would be a couple of couple of properties which we are getting from the get file properties. Now I'll take something called we have name as well, and we'll try name or title. So name of the file, I'll take this one. Now I have this. When I try to pass this one, okay, which is running which is taking this name. Now I'll save this one. I will try to test this one, try to test this, and test earlier which is failed. Now we'll try to run this one again. Now here we got an error message. Now here we have get file properties and we have initialize variable. Now here we have a bad request because we are taking that variable as an integer, but we are trying to pass a value as a string. Now this point of time, but I don't know where the error is occurring. Now I am getting this file properties and I have initialize variable, I have move file. Now if I have a multiple actions, if I don't know where the exact error is occurring, and that point of time the scopes will be helpful. So for that what I'm doing is, now I'll try to add a scope to this one. After this selected file, I'll add one more action and I'll search for the scope. I have this scope. In this scope, I'm copying this get file properties and then I'm copying this initialize variable. Otherwise, I'll initialize the variable. Okay, otherwise what I'll do is I'll delete this one from here. I'll click OK. Now we'll initialize the variable from here. Just I'll take this one as test var, and then I'll take which is an integer. I'm not declaring anything here, and I'll select this one. We'll try to drag and drop this move file action. Okay, and okay, no worries. Now here we'll add a parallel branch and we'll try to drag and drop this to this side. Now this is failed and this is successful, so we'll change this configure, and after if it is failed, now we are done. So we are good here. Now I'll try to add one more action here, so which is set variable. Now we'll take this one and then we'll try to update with the name. It's not correct, and I'll take this one. Now here we have this complete actions here. Now I have this get file properties, I have set variable, I have move file, I have send an email and send an email v2. So if it is failed, now I'm trying to run this one. When I click this scope and everything is disappear, and which is inside this scope. Now what we are doing is we are wrapping all these actions into one scope. So which means now if I put another scope here in the new step, if I take this scope control, now here I'll add one action like set variable, and I'll take this test var. I will take this ID into this, and after that you can send an email or whatever the actions you want to do, you can able to do here in this scope. Now I'm just doing this support, and this is for exception handling. Test me. Done. Okay, now I'll make this one as try, and then I'll make this one as catch. You're done now. And here also you can able to see configure and after. Now if try fails, then I want to run this one. Click done and then save this one. Now you can able to see this red dotted line, so which means if this try fails, then catch will run. Now we'll try to test this one. If once you select this and click test, Now here you can able to see this is successful, this is successful, but here you can able to see this error mark. And in this also get file properties successfully completed, but when coming to the set variable and this one is failed. Now this one is failed, so that's why the move is skipped, but and it's not going to the next step. And if you come back and this is successfully run, if it is failed also, this block of the actions is running, which means the set variable is completed, send email is completed, which means if something occurred in the set of actions and you want to go and run one other set of actions, you can go with this scopes will help you to handle the exceptions in the Power Automate. And also, for example, if you feel that and you there might be an error occurred in any of the action, and there you can use the configure run after on a single action. But if you want to check or if you want to run on a multiple actions, it's better to use the scopes will help us to handle the exceptions in the Power Automate.